Syrian war occurred as a result of Arab Spring. It began as a revolution against Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, but right now it's a huge conflict that struggles many nations. Two biggest belligerents are Syrian government and Syrian opposition. Syrian government is supported by Iran and Russia, while Syrian opposition is strongly supported by United States. It all started on 15th of March 2011 as a result of long-lasting anti-governmental strikes. 1 year after that, Rojava became significant, and 2 years after that it was already recognized as an autonomy. But with the rise of Rojava, another state became even more significant. The so-called Islamic State plays a huge role in Syrian civil war. Currently, the war in Syria became a huge struggle to the international community. For example, because of use of chemical weapons by Bashar al-Assad towards civilians. It is also where biggest terror organization in the world gained its state. As of June 2017, the Syrian government holds 28% of Syria, with roughly 70% of population. ISIS holds 28% of Syria, with 5% of population. 23% is controlled by Rojava, with 15% of population, and 21% is held by Syrian opposition groups, which is around 10% of population. Since the outbreak of war, Syria played one of the most significant roles. Right now it controls majority of Syrian population. Since the outbreak of war, Bashar al-Assad is president of Syria. Religion plays pretty significant role in Syria. Around 70% believe in the Sunni branch of Islam, 3% are part of Shia, and 13% are Alevis. Although Bashar al-Assad, leader of Syria, is part of the Alevis branch. The majority of the whole country and the rebels is Sunni, which makes it to some extent a religious war. Right now Syria has two biggest supporters, Russia from north and from east Iraq. It is also pretty significant that Syrian government has access to sea. Right now it is obviously fighting against rebels, but also was attacked by United States and has kind of uncertain position against Rojava, while being totally opposed to Islamic State. Right now there is huge controversy around the use of chemical weapons in Syrian civil war. It is nearly impossible to confirm what is true and what is not. Currently, Syrian armed forces are strongly winning against rebels, and ISIS is getting weaker each day, which means that in some way Syrian government is winning the war. The outbreak of war, Syrian opposition formed Free Syrian Army. Syrian opposition was inspired by wave of 2011 Arab Spring protests. It all started in the city of Dara with huge anti-Assad protests. Soon it started expanding to other cities, where at one point revolution struck the whole country. In the protest, nearly 1,000 people were killed, and around 150,000 soldiers of opposition died, compared to another 90,000 of Syrian government soldiers. Another extremely significant movement in Syrian war is Rojava. Rojava is an autonomous region in northern Syria. The state is based on anarchist and socialist principles. It is mainly supported by Europe and United States and is fighting against ISIS. And by saying anarchism, I don't mean that they are constantly breaking windows. The whole state is based on democratic confederalism, which is I think a nicer name than anarchism. I'm not gonna explain how it works, although I think it's worth noticing in this video. Army of Rojava is around 60,000 soldiers. They condemned the biggest operation against Islamic State, killing around 20,000 jihadists. And lastly, Islamic State. Islamic State is what broke out from Al-Qaeda and took opportunity of Syrian civil war. When the chaos was all around the country, they used the opportunity to build their caliphate. With roughly 20,000 soldiers, they are holding around 28% of Syria. Fortunately enough, they are not allied with anybody, and right now they kind of have war with everybody. Currently, the state is dying, although they are still condemning a lot of terrorist attacks. which is I think their last opportunity to show their power. The results of the civil war can be seen all around the world. The extremely big refugee crisis is caused mainly because of Syrian war. Rojava tries to handle it, although some people still flee to Europe. Many people do not understand the sole purpose of refugee crisis, and they blame refugees for terrorism in Europe, although the refugees are literally escaping from the terrorism. Here is a bonus clip of a very popular discussion about Syrian civil war in international television.
إذا بتريد
انت
ما بدنا حدا يقاطع.
انت بتخرس، انت البلا اخلاق.
اخرس يا كرد،
انت
اخرس ايها الارهابي، اخرس ايها السلفي،
انا لو عارف
ايوه بولي يشرفك يا
تذبيح
اخرس يا